And welcome back to our continued coverage of the EGFC Power Series as we've got Wichita versus DePaul. I mean, we are looking at the two teams that really sort of came out swinging, winning their opening games, and we're going to see who sort of takes the top of this bracket, of this division.
Both these teams have been at the top, and I think it is interesting that it's going to be these two teams that we finally get to see as our final matchup for Group 1 today. But regardless, I want to see which map we are going to be going to, because I think that's going to massively determine how these teams are going to be playing.
Yeah, and it is going to be split. So again, we've had all unique maps. I really enjoy that because I've had some casts where it's literally like all Icebox or it's all Ascent, and I'm like, give me some variety, give me some spice.
But regardless, let's look at the bans here. Once again, DePaul, Hating, Fracture, goodbye. Then we see Icebox, goodbye. Freeze, goodbye. Unfortunately, Bind, goodbye. But not really unfortunately, because we're just coming from Bind. We've already had that map. We don't need to see it again. And since we are going to be going to split, operator picks or agent picks, Neon looking like is going to be a 100% pick here, but that's interesting because I don't see Neon as much of a necessity on split as I would say Bind or Haven.
Yeah, I don't see her so much as a necessity, but I think it's one of those maps that you can get away with a little bit more, you know, where some of these spaces aren't as easy to punish as maybe they are on Bind, or and that speed can just be so useful for getting onto side or getting past these choke points that Split tends to offer, at least on the attacking side. So I can understand the thought process, but I don't expect it to really get picked up. We're seeing the Astra. I feel like Astra's just the dominant controller if you're not on like Icebox or Breeze where you're going Viper.
Please keep the Yoru. No, as I say it, I shouldn't have said anything.
Caster Curse.
It is always there. It's always there. Interesting picks here, though. It's not confirmed. Killjoy, meaning that there is opportunity for a second duelist.
Select your agent.
But I do 100% think that this guy would be the better pick here. You have the two heals. You have the birds to be able to blind your opponent. And just wait until the very end on the side of Wichita State. Really, they probably have a player going to the bathroom. Let's be honest. They're just trying to use their time efficiently.
That they might, as it looks like we do have completely mirrored team compositions, if I'm not mistaken, from
correct.
these squads.
Yeah, you are correct.
Going to be very fun to see. Makes a lot of sense. I mean, Ray is very, very prominent on Split. Unfortunately, there's no Yoru to counter it out. Makes me sad. But one thing that sort of sticks out to me is Nest going from being a Jet player to being a Sage on this map for DePaul. That's quite a departure in playstyle.
Now, I can see a switch to maybe a Sky. Or I don't see that. Jet to Sage doesn't make sense in my books. I'm sorry, it's a completely different playstyle. And it wasn't like Nest was doing a bad job. They were doing a phenomenal job. They were assisting their team in every sense possible. So to be able to see this type of change just doesn't sit too well with me.
I mean, it might not be that Nest was underperforming on the Jet, but more that they just need the Sage more than the Jet in this kind of map, and that's sort of the role. Maybe they're the flex player. I know, at least in my own school's program, sometimes you'll have completely different roles played by the same players just because they're that versatile. And so we're going to have to see if DePaul has that same level of versatility as Ghosty with the Frenzy, not the Ghost, unfortunately, is trying to peek out. Doesn't find much, and flash for flash, traded in mid as... Oh, that makes me feel like I'm casting League, honestly. Flash for flash in the mid lane. But we're on Valorant, the more fun game to watch, I feel. Now, it's just sort of a stalemate, this default setup that both teams are taking on Pistol, which is a little different than usual, I feel, sometimes, as we're seeing the utility finally get dropped, and everyone runs back to the back of mid. Ghosty trying to find a couple of shots, but not much coming.
This is interesting. On the side of Wichita, we saw them go very slow like this and then explode, and I think that's slowly what we're starting to see. Ghosty doing a phenomenal job holding this off. Just really hoping to get some of these players off guard. Thiessen holding down the choke points. Looking to find this opening pick as it will be pivotal in this round. Flash, assisted by paint shells, will force all these players back. As look at this, Wichita State have now taken control. Heaven, as they're also looking towards both. Asher swinging out will be the fine one. Pizzasaurus and Jelly both coming alive. And now Plant going down 3v3.
Yeah, 3v3 indeed. As DePaul looking to re-enter this site, try and find a way to retake. It's Ghosty in such an awkward spot, and I like this turret at a Pizzasaurus. It's going to cover a lot of space. And the thing is, Truman knows that Ghosty's there, but finds the headshot, finds the kill. That opening is going to be huge, but Kaba trades it right back on the Nest. Heals coming through for both. Pizzasaurus misses a couple shots, doesn't matter. Ghosty gets the trade, but Kaba cleans it up. And a very tight first round goes the way of Wichita.
That's interesting. I like that round because of how slow Wichita took it, and that's exactly what we saw all that time ago in our first match of the day, which was on Haven. They had very good rotate ability, and they played really well with the Astra and Sky, and that's what we saw there too. The Astra Sky combo, but now add the Rays into the mix, where they're flashing through the paint shell, where they are pushing through down the smoke. They have very, very good utility control, and there was no difference in that round. Now assisted from the utility that Sage brings and complementary Killjoy.
Absolutely. As now, it does look like it is going to be at least a high concentration of bodies towards A, and they're intentionally making noise towards sewers, so wondering what the plan is here, as Spectre's gun advantage for Wichita State, of course, just waiting for this to break open. And there it starts. Pizzasaurus finds one, Truman finds two, and that quick spray down is going to shut down DePaul, as now actually backing up. Maybe they want to force a rotate of the Killjoy, and then just head to B side as it's wide open, take as few risks as possible, and good read by DePaul as turnaround comes through for Nisei as we're seeing right now, but oh, a couple quick headshots on a Thiessen. That was beautifully done, but Kaba finding the trade. And now this is likely just going to be Wichita State cruising into B site, holding the control, but some flashy plays out of both teams this round.
I've enjoyed it so far. I don't think Sego has too much opportunity to push into this. I think it's better for them to, one, save a bit of their utility rather than throwing a dog and having to buy it back next round. They could probably use that guiding light to blind their opponents, maybe try to steal a kill. But as of now, they have the rifle within their sights. Please grab that, and you can make your push more winnable now. But time's ticking away. Heaven is not in their control. The remaining 4 players are very well diverse and spread out. Look at this guiding light. I'm sorry, there's not many options. G, once again, long range Spectre shot. Wichita State doing a phenomenal job separating these sites.
Yeah, doing a phenomenal job indeed, as now DePaul are going to have guns, so we are going to see how they do into Wichita with full force. Maybe that was part of the idea why Sago wanted to push in there, sort of confirm that they were going to have a rifle for the next round and not try and save over a Spectre and make life a little awkward. But for Wichita, sticking with the Spectres, one Sheriff, again, just keeping their economy healthy, and we're going to see what they can do with this bonus.
Smart Sage well. Mostly to hop onto it. That also gives them a lot of freedom to use those blast packs to go flying towards the other end of mid if they see fit. But mostly dealing with the sprays, looking to find the Killjoy. They hear the Spectre, they spot out the body, but that means they were spotted out too, forcing them to rotate back as they are really concerned about just disabling this wall.
Yeah, maybe they want to make a little space, try and find an early duel, but Ghosty comes out ahead against Pizzasaurus. And now that opening pick, it is going to make life a little easier. Thiessen should be able to pick up this Spectre. At the very least, don't lose much gun value.
This is interesting, just the 4 players stacked on mid. You'd think this is such a bad idea, but when they are working in such good tandem to get these picks, it is so obvious why. Boombot deployed, Frag coming out, but Nest to find 2, Kaba to get that refrag, and now Ghostly to find the kill into Thiessen. It's all left up to Kaba, stuck with the Spectre in mid. 3 all points off of the res, so getting 2 kills here would be the best scenario.
Indeed it would be, but Nisei just going to find the kill, and DePaul put their first round on the board.
That push really came around to the stall out. We talked about their ability to maneuver, but when you don't make leeway pushing through mid, it oftentimes turns against you. Especially when you have the player's ability to push back, that same mirrored utility canceling out yours, that's where things gets dangerous. It gets dangerous, you're pushing in, you don't have enough ability to watch, And that's where you want to have that split push, where they're not able to dedicate all this time onto you. And I did not even realize there's plushies of the agents on this map.
Yeah, it's so cute. I love the little details that Riot puts into every single one of these maps. I also love that Juke's showing us all these fun little details. Once again, huge shout out and Nisei with the shot on the Kaba, giving away free haircuts. As now Thiessen trying to find some space over on the B, making some noise. But again, this is just pretty standard default, it feels, for both teams. But fortunate for Wichita, losing that early Sage is going to be very tough.
They do have the healing ability of the Sky, but it may not be exactly what they're looking for. I do like this. This is a lot more spread out. You have coverage on A long next to Rams, the Sky, pushing towards B. And that, honestly, that voice cue of someone being blinded is probably better, because it really defers them. But here, all that chaos still in mid. Spike is down, going towards B, so it does look like the primary aspect of where they'll be pushing. But you still have those stars, alarm bots on the side of A. But now this should easily prompt Killjoy now to start rotating, and the Astra to go in towards screens. Whether they're or not, they catch their counterpart off guard. It looks like they'll narrowly miss each other, but quickly on the side of Sight, these sprays coming out. The lockdown will be detonated, no one getting caught off guard. Now plant, 14 seconds will be successful. Nisei to find a kill onto Jeem. Jeem onto Nisei.
Yeah, little trade off of each other as the Molly does find that kill. Now Nest forced to clear out so many different angles. And I mean, this is such a tough position. Guiding Light does get dropped, doesn't find anyone, as this is a very defensive position taken. I wish I liked this crossfire as he went right for Thiessen, finds two. And now it's all up to Jelly. Might be feeling like there's a little jelly in them, as it was a great start, but Thiessen with the 4K to finish it off.
We talked about how this guy loves ending up the kill with or ending up the round with all the kills. He got all 4 of them, or almost all of them that round, with the only kill happening on the other side of the map, where Nisi was taken out by Jeem. And that will be 3 rounds now for Wichita State, really showing their ability to really run the clock and use it. And you can see how DePaul does not like that. They don't have control of the rounds, and Wichita is really just running around showing that off.
Yeah, they certainly are. And the only round they've lost was when they had a gun disadvantage. Granted, we're only 4 rounds in, but Nisei creeping forward with the judge, and they don't see anything. With the shot, but Nice! Oh, that makes me so sad that Truman didn't get taken out by the judge. And I mean, if I was on the other side of that judge and I die to it, I just start mauling, I start screaming. But now Jeem finding 1-2, cleaned up by
enemy remaining.
And those kills from Wichita just scattered across the map turn into this being a 5v1 out of nowhere.
Just look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. None of them are together. Sure, that push for mid was with 2, but they're playing in a way that they take control of the map. They are now the defenders. And this lone defender, Asago, has to push up. Watch your back, because now that's a free kill. Pizza!
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 Wait, what? There's no one else. There's no one else to worry about. Why don't you just finish the round? Oh, they want plant money. They must want plant money. That has to be it.
That's so smart. And now they're waiting. They know exactly where they are.
Oh.
Now there's playing with your food.
Yeah.
And then there's that.
I mean, I guess you could say that it wasn't so much playing with their food, but more optimizing their money, but still.
That's like when you have your food at the table and you are nice enough to wait for everyone to get their food too. That's like the equivalent to someone who calls out they have a max ammo when they're playing zombies.
Oh, look at this turtle. Look at this little turtle head. I enjoy it. We're gonna get eaten up by a turtle as Paul trying to prevent from being eaten up by the Wichita State Shockers. As now Paul just looking for an answer, I think. And this next gun round might be an opportunity to do just that.
I want it to be. I genuinely do. We haven't seen a single res. Have we seen any ultimates this entire game? I don't think we saw lockdown.
Yeah, it was a lockdown.
Besides that, we haven't seen much. I want to see Seekers. I think that could be a very powerful tool to use on the side of Wichita, especially with the way that DePaul has been going about these defenses, and it will give them a lot more insight to where they should be watching from round to round.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree.
You want to
As
fight
now,
it?
minute left on the clock. Here comes the Cosmic Divide from Wichita.
your triumph.
Now Sago on the right side of it, but the Seekers are going to give away his position. This is going to be very tough to play into as so many players are rushing forward. And there's even spray through the wall. Pizzasaurus actually, Jean gonna take Sago's head clean off, Teason onto Jelly. But Nisei does find one as DePaul lose out on those trades, and Wichita find the plant. Truman maybe going headhunting or something as another member of DePaul falls, and it's just up to Nisei and Nest trying to
They
find
have the
something.
res capability. We can't forget about that.
That they do, but maybe want one more kill to open things up and maybe push Pizzasaurus out. Didn't quite clip that last section. Though it does find one, looks for two, and Nisei goes insane. Finds three, looking for the ace. Gets the tap on the bomb, and now he's looking for him. And oh my, so close. Nisei nearly bringing it back, but gee, oh my gosh, that was so close.
So, here in the casting booth, my heart's beating a little bit.
A little bit? Mine's pounding.
Well, when you compare our heart to what Nisei's heart is probably feeling right now, it makes it look like a little bit, but our hearts are pounding just seeing the capability there. Nisei coming up huge with those 4 picks. Absolutely gut-wrenching that they weren't able to pull it out. But regardless, Wichita State hold on, getting their 5th round. And once again, here in Group 1, the score line does not tell the whole story.
Indeed, it does. You know, DePaul have been bringing so many of these rounds so close, but Wichita just has a last man standing. And oh, the share of shots not quite enough for Jelly, as Teason does find Nest. Now, a couple members left standing. And Nisei with this judge, now revealed after taking down the Sage Wall. Ghosty here with the Spectre, gotta check the corners, might find Jeem. Not able to do it, maybe it's the firepower, just couldn't quite land the shots. It's just Sago and Nisei once again. The trouble is when you've got that judge, there's no way you can take a battle at range. Sago as well, trying to take a gun off Wichita, but Jeem too close on the shots. And this is going to be another round going Wichita's way. I think, oh, but maybe not with a couple of kills. Nisei getting things started. Finds the Spectre, looks for Phantom, does upgrade, but not enough time to actually get the defuse, but this could be costly. Just picks up another Phantom instead of finishing with the one they had, but Pizzasaurus uses those right clicks to great effect.
Yeah, all 3 attackers even surviving there. Very good. Now, Paul, I have one comment, one only. Please use your ultimates. They help you win. And I understand it's hard to remember, and ultimates are the kind of thing where you can just throw at your other bits of utility and say, it's alright, I'll buy it back next round. Ultimates are very selective when you're able to use them. But when you've now gone 7 rounds without throwing down a single piece of utility, that's where you, or like ultimate utility, that's where you have to wonder, when is it going to be time? Because I would hope it would be now.
Yeah, that I would. I mean, you've got to use your ultis to try and string something together if you are DePaul. As 5 rounds back, I wouldn't mind a tactical timeout either. Maybe they just need to try and think through these positions as Jean just sprays through the wall, finds Ghosty. And again, there's not much that they can do if they're losing these duels, not using their utility, and falling because of it.
Now, sure, the lockdown while you are on the defending side isn't as powerful. You get it into the right position at the right time, and it is huge. Odin pick from Nisi this time. I did not see that one coming whatsoever, but they've single-handedly secured this B site. And now it's just a matter of them reading, hey, they're coming A. You guys might want to rotate. But wait, this is the res. This could be a very free res on a round that is much needed. Sage rotating up, and they are free. As soon as they have the call on the other side, that's all they have to worry about, and it does look like there is a Cosmic Divide possibility. Seekers being deployed in combination and tandem with the Cosmic Divide. Jelly rotating back. They have their Cosmic Divide should they see fit. They'll find their second. Beautiful headshot looking for a third, but Jean will find it. And now down to a 2v3 with 20 seconds.
Indeed, 20 seconds left. Plant is going to come down for Wichita, but it's still a 2v3, and there's the lockdown for the retake. And now you can see those pings on the mini-map. DePaul understand where these Wichita members have to sit.
One enemy remaining.
Will they be able to find the tool? And no, Jean too strong. And it's just a 1v1 between Nest And Jim, I would honestly not have minded that res was used, and doesn't even matter. Nest finds it, finds the defuse, and DePaul slowed down Wichita's momentum.
Clutch.
We're gonna see Eco-Res? Eco-Res?
I am not just your healer.
Does not look like it.
No.
That's
one of my pet peeves. That's one of my pet peeves of Sage. Sages are too careful with when they res.
Yeah.
And this is like just a general thing. Like both these teams could have used it. Sage res can be used for your eco because it's a free rifle that you carry to the next round. It can also be used if you want to, say, tip the balance in your favor. You're in a, let's say, 4v3. What happens when they get a kill? Now it's a 3v3. You already have sight, get that extra man. They could have an ult. For example, let's say your Sage, your Raze is dead. You pick them up, they have their showstopper. That changes the round entirely. Or I think a really good instance of this is resing a Sova, so like an agent that has that util that really affects your team because it makes a difference in the round, especially when they were unfortunately the opening pick.
Yeah, that's a great way to, I think, break down how Sage can be used, because it's not so one-dimensional. It's like, oh, I'm in a stressful 1v1, now I'm gonna res. There's so many other ways to use this ultimate, and when you use it the first time, it means you're that much closer to being able to use it a second time and get another one of those impact moments. And I think that's something that's not understood often enough at times. Like, so when people are really conservative with their Sage ultis, it's like, yeah, it takes a while to charge up, so you want to be impactful, but also 2 Sage ultis is a lot better than 1.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some backlash for this, but I don't mind baiting my team when I'm playing Sage.
Oh yeah.
If I get the kill, then you were worth it. I'm sorry. Any ult is worth a kill.
Taking that back.
If you can get a kill off your ult, good. You did a good job. Because especially on agents like Seekers, you get a kill off a Seeker, you've done a good job. Same thing with Sage. Sure, you lost your teammate again, but you got your kill.
Yeah, exactly. And if you can find that, it's let's say it's a 3v3 and you res someone and it's a bait res, now it's a 3v2. That is good. That is a better position that your team was in before the Sage ulti was used. Is now we're gonna see how Wichita approaches. We're gonna see how DePaul used that tactical timeout. See if it helps them out. They're going for a lot more scattered play, and honestly, this could be a kill on Teason with the Storm Grenade, and I loved that. Getting a quick headshot with the Bulldog, and now Nest as well. Got some life coming out from DePaul off of that timeout, and I like the adjustments they made.
They're now forced to rotate. Now, this is being read as a lot of players are leaving, but hey, would this be a good time for a res with a wall? It might bait them out a little. Oh, never mind. That's not an option.
30 seconds left.
I tried.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe we won't be able to make that one work. But at the very least, if they
Oh, this is smart.
Site, oh, they're so quiet and they're not breaking it down. They're just waiting, I think, until probably like the... Oh, they're going to boost. They're going to boost.
Oh, stars in place. This is exactly what you want to see.
10 seconds.
The
I love it.
Final seconds of the round will be possible. Showstopper being deployed. Looking for it.
But Lantern not
Spike
stopped,
planted.
and it will go down. But Kaba goes down. Kaba stays alive, can find a res here. Does bring back Teason, and you've got that guy got the heal, but it's just 8 res. And we're able to find the kill off of it.
Enemy remaining.
Actually, we're able to find Zago, and now it's 1v1 Jeem trying to make it work, but Nisei, the clutch killer for DePaul, not enough. As oh, what a round from Wichita.
These rounds that Wichita are winning are won solely off the outplays. Playing into exactly the way you should be playing. Should DePaul have rotated all their players to A and mid? Perhaps not. I think you always want to keep at least one person, especially when there's 3 left. You don't know where they could be coming from, what they could be trying. With the boost wall. Round of applause.
Love it.
That's the kind of outplays that we want to see. That's what gives you a highlight play. Oh, nicely done, and I cannot wait to see more of that from Wichita in these upcoming rounds.
Yeah, 100% is Truman. Does take down Zago, so an opening pick for Wichita as Nisei just steps forward to the classic and finds one. Ghosty with the frenzy evens things up, so this eco working wonders for DePaul so far.
Blinded.
And now 3-3, but one thing I haven't brought up yet that I think is relevant is Split is traditionally considered to be a defense-sided map, and Wichita have already secured themselves an advantage going into their defending half.
That is a huge thing to
I've
consider.
got your trail.
Seekers now, and I think Astra we haven't covered enough. The cosmic divide on this map is probably one of the most powerful
Found
compared to
one.
anything. You can shut off heaven as well as defender side spawn for B site. Shut off screens, elbow, everything, ramps. It is just so powerful, and if DePaul can use that for the retake, that can make a huge difference. Beeson finding 2 kills, making it 3 on the round. Leaving it all left up to Jelly with a classic in their hands. They'll be going towards mid. Plant is down. This round is almost certainly Wichita's win. And there's the 4th.
Oh!
Caster curse.
Caster curse indeed. And I feel like Jelly's just gonna find a Vandal, camp out, take that save. It's very difficult to try and push in with how much time it's going to take down, but taking another gun out of Wichita's hands and finding one for yourself is always a benefit.
It's going to give DePaul the opportunity to push towards an 8-4. And maybe we might see the 9-3. But I think both of the 9-3 splits that we have seen have been... They've lived up to the 9-3 curse name. They really have, where it's been close. They haven't won it, but they've come close enough to the point where I say, yes, that was a match. It wasn't just one team playing, it was a match where both teams showed up.
Yeah, I completely agree, and we're going to have to see if DePaul has that gas in the tank to do so and bring it back if this does go to a 9-3. If Wichita makes this a 10-2, then maybe it'll be the most dominant game we've seen on stream today. As...
Oh, 8-15 to Shark Tank. Get on that one.
Oh, Nisei, though, looking to at least give themselves a shot at that 9-3 with that quick kill onto the sky of Wichita. And that op investment certainly doing wonders for DePaul at the start.
Minute 15, they're going really slow. That's one thing I've really noticed with Wichita. That aggressive play that we could have expected them maybe in the first map on Haven. Not the case here. They are clearing everything they want to. And look, this Killjoy turret's just waiting.
Calling my bot.
They are so slow and methodical, but I love it. But hey, is that the Killjoy with the lockdown? Now you're probably, which team am I talking about? And that's exactly my point.
You should run.
It is Wichita who's got the lockdown, and they do commit it to this B site. We'll have to see what timing they use here. Splash is down.
I need to stop.
Are able to somewhat clear
30
sight.
seconds left.
Not able to pull him back into the lockdown, but doesn't matter. Still finds a kills, but Saga Ghost going big. Finding 2, but Jeem on the backside. Gets 1, looks for 2. Can't find the counterpart quite yet. Thinks him through the wall, and Saga finds another one, and now Jelly's so low that plant fake.
10 seconds left.
Trying to provoke the peek from Jelly, but now the head comes up from Kaba, and Jelly finds it. And DePaul secure themselves at least 3 rounds going into the next half.
Oh, that is nice. I've never noticed that. When you see the defenders won, there's like little blue pixels that move along it. I didn't notice that until like the previous round when the attackers won. It's a cool little detail.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many little details that are in Valorant. It's really what I love, and they've created such a colorful world that they can really play around with. Whereas I always felt with Counter-Strike, it was a little drab at times, a little monochrome, or just it was very industrial, which makes sense for the style of game that it's trying to be. But you don't get as many fun details as you do here, like a little cafe that you can. Yeah.
I think it's also the animation style too, where like this is like a fun style. Like I think it's the exact same thing that I've noticed with Rainbow Six Siege, where especially as a player, it's so much easier to gravitate to a game like this, where you can have more of that fantasy style, where Rainbow Six is looking for that very serious tactical nature. And to be honest, Rainbow Six, I love it. It's a very tactical game, but then you compare it to something like this where it's a lot more fast-paced. You don't have that downtime, especially as a commentator. I'm talking all the time. I don't need to have constant filler. Just look, the round's already started. There's our opening kill. And Lacey, once again with the operator, is going to be able to find that opening pick.
Yeah, the setup period is, or near as long as in Rainbow Six, and now DePaul finding that opening kill. But this Cosmic Divide does allow for Wichita to get their desired plant. So We'll see how they use this, but Nisei on the operator now commits that lockdown for the retake, and see if Truman can find it. Takes down Nisei, looks for the lockdown.
Oh no!
Might be able to find it. Does, but now in a tough spot. Nearly had the cycle, and somehow Jelly from the backside equalizes, and Thiessen as well. And we are in a similar situation. It's Jelly up against one member, and Wichita takes the round. But once again, we have the 9-3 curse upon us.
Now, if you're watching and you're wondering, hey, I'm pretty new to Valorant, what's the 9-3 curse? Well, the 9-3 curse is what you dread if you're ever up 9-3, because it seems like the magic number for the other opposing team that's down all these 6 rounds to just somehow come back and maybe even push it to overtime. Our previous matches, we've seen 9-3 curses, I think, all across the board, right?
We've seen that. I don't know if we've seen it in every match, but I know at least 2. And then those ones turned out to be very, very close games. Now, we haven't had one where the team that was at 3 actually managed to come back and win the game. But we had one that went to 13-11. So that's about as close as you get without it being, you know, a win for the other team.
Mm-hmm. So, close enough in my books. You say, once again, oh, look at this opening pick. Look at this. Look at the spirit contrast in playstyles of these two teams. With how DePaul is already aggressive. They're already looking at heaven with all this utility, and you can see why that may be not as much of a good thing. But look, the heal is being used to great effect from this guy. And once again, eco, and shots being fired. This is just a trade game now, as you're trying to see where it goes, and it's a spring on to heaven. Team finding one, looking for 2. Able to find it, assisted by Truman. There's the second, looking for a third, flashed out. And there's 3 for Jeem. Haba to find Nisi, and man, oh man, Wichita does not want the 9-3 curse to come into effect.
No, they do not. They're trying to shut it down as quickly as it came around, as that pistol round, very convincing, as it would just felt like a headshot simulator for Jeem, honestly, up there in A-Heaven. And now DePaul forced to save. We're gonna have to see if they can strike back in the next gun round as they did in the first round, and they're gonna have to carry that momentum forward.
Now, just quickly taking a look at the stats I have, if I am able to find it. So, Immortal 3 is the average rank of Wichita, and Immortal 2 is the average rank of DePaul, which is already an interesting concept. But look, I have no time to fill, as all these kills are already exploding.
That they are, as Nest finds Truman, and DePaul find themselves a man advantage with the gun disadvantage, but fortunate for Wichita, that Spectre went down, and now it becomes a bloodbath for Kaba! 11-3, and DePaul, little greedy for that Spectre.
Wow. My friend, here, but do you know what the definition of insanity is? This is one of my favorite ones to bring up.
Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result.
I think I made my point. But regardless, you can't constantly push the same angle. I'm sure they were about to run out of ammo. Maybe the 4th person would have made this not insanity. But losing 3 players in ropes to an angle like that just doesn't seem... doesn't make a lot of sense, especially when you have the site. You had A. You need to go for the safe bet there, which is also going and getting all of your resources, but now it comes down to the buy.
Does, as we have trades in mid, and we need to take down Sago, and even
here.
the start, but Wichita, they really do excel when they're able to control the pace of play. Looks like that's what they're trying to do right here, as just pushing up mid, but Ghosty ready and waiting, as DePaul opted for a more defensive default style. And I don't know, I don't like this initial spread from Wichita, all playing on their own, really.
It's weird. It's really weird. Truman,
Please.
look behind you. Truman, look behind you. Please check your corners.
Oh, no! Oh, gets traded by Kaba, but
Imagine he waited, though.
imagine. Oh,
The
that would've
trigger
been-
discipline would have been unreal.
Oh, it would have been nasty as all of Wichita off of that do rotate over to A. Bomb gets planted on B, and this might just turn into a save potentially, unless Wichita can break this one open very, very quickly on the retake.
You know where there's been a few deaths? We don't know if they've been able to upgrade their rifles entirely, but they are more or less in this fight. Which are at 72 health. We don't know how long. 10 seconds for Sage's heal. So they're not going to wait it out. They have to get onto site first. They're clearly taking it slow. As the wall will come into
Not
effect.
great.
No, that's not necessarily the wall you'd be wanting to use. Is it more acts as a funnel of exactly where to be shooting?
Yeah, I think that their thought process was, they're going to be cubby. Instead, they were garage, and that's all. That's all she wrote. That's those two quick kills come in. DePaul find a fourth on the board, and this is what happened last half. Wichita, off of their bonus round, went down, but then immediately struck back and took four. That obviously cannot happen this game, as Wichita only needs 2 more to win, but DePaul have to find a way to build some momentum here.
I'm a little bit baffled. We've seen crazy comebacks. Never a team go up to 11 this early and then lose it out. Wichita are in a brilliant situation. And especially with the way they're holding things, they'll have to really make a mark for DePaul to be able to actually bring this one back.
Yeah, but DePaul securing site early on, and they've got one lurker around mid, so they know all of Wichita are going to have to be pathing through spawn, and that could serve as an advantage. Information that there's at least one up heaven.
Oh
It's
no.
now Nisei creeping forward. Oh, the timing on the smoke. Oh, this is bad for both. I feel whoever looks in the right direction first is going to win. Oh, they make it out. They don't even see each other. Truman.
No way!
Oh, no way DePaul made that one work. And that is just timing. That is all there is to it.
I'm pretty sure the Sage died from the coverage from Sago down below in the courtyard of A. The amount of line of sights, the timing in this game has been unreal. You're not supposed to see this kind of timing, guys. I'm sorry. This is unheard of. Is that a rooftop patio?
Maybe?
This map is so intricate. I love it.
Yeah, there's so many intricacies on every single map. It is wonderful.
I
Jeem
need to
going for a
stop.
couple pot shots does shut down the grenade, but immediately gets a face full of bullets from the venom of Ghosty. And Trailblazer does spot out one. Kaba goes low, but a big set of paint shells coming through. Decent. A fun little flash as now this lockdown might be able to find one, at the very least corrals Thiessen into a tough position. Because he should know there's one here. Is able to find one. Oh, but
Spike down
Thiessen
B.
finds
Last
2.
player standing.
Now, Nisei up heaven. Pizzasaurus found Sago. And somehow, with just some sheriffs, Wichita bring this one to a 1v1.
This is huge for Wichita. We see the 2 killjoys going against each other. The nano swarms could be used in the situation.
Oh,
Spike is still
it's so
down.
soft.
You need the spike. You see rotating around, finding it, but no! It's going to be Pizzasaurus on Wichita to win it out with the thrifty round.
Match point.
Oh my god. I thought that Pizzasaurus had seen Nisei, but then when Nisei started landing those shots, it just turned into a headshot from the other, and oh my goodness. That was more stress than I wanted, honestly, from just casting a round of Valorant. Is now Paul's back's up against the wall. Wichita just need one more.
See, I thought I might have needed an energy drink tonight. No. These teams are keeping me well awake. If someone wants to give me some Uber Eats, I wouldn't complain. But regardless, we have a match on our hands, and DePaul now has their back against the wall as they're trying to make something of this final match that we'll be seeing for Group 1.
Yeah, and we will have to see, as now Wichita going a little bit more aggressive, at least Truman, trying to find some space, trying to maybe get a pick early on. But DePaul,
I've got your
stick to
trail.
what you're comfortable with, I feel, as paint shells go down. little damage on the Kaba, and I like these Seekers are finding a lot, but do get shut down by Truman. That Guiding Light's not gonna find anything with Gene and Pizzasaurus. Start things off for Wichita, and they just keep it going. Truman finds another. It's a 2v5 for DePaul. It's just Sago against the world. It needs to be an ace, and there's so much util, so many stuns, so many blinds. Still finds it through the Seeker. But 8 health and a dream now for Sago. It's just gonna take one straight bullet from a player on Wichita
30 seconds
to
left.
secure this one. Actually, some sprays through the wall are gonna do it. Jeem finds the final kill, and Wichita are looking very good.
I really like that game. Wichita really showing that they are the name you want to look out for today. The only team so far to have 2 wins to their name, going completely undefeated for the day. Regardless, look at this scoreboard, and I also want to look at the eco rating. Nothing near 170 like we saw last game, but it was very well rounded. And I have to say, Turbo, no matter how much the score differential was in favor of Wichita, DePaul still played a very good game, and they were well rounded. Wichita just had a very good ability to play slow and maneuver around the map of Split.
Yeah, it really felt that Split became their playground in a sense. They were playing a little slower. They were able to find the openings that they wanted. And, I mean, they just played an incredible series. As we're taking a look at, I believe, the schedule at least we're taking a look at what happened through this group. Wichita, of course, undefeated, as we saw. But everyone else, actually, no, not everyone else. Marquette, William and Mary, that is. Sorry, having 2 losses. There's so many games that have been played. It's just losing my mind. But William and Mary 0-2 for now. Marquette and DePaul 1-1. Wichita State 2-0.
Well, that brings us to the end of Group 1. I was so happy to see Wichita State, Marquette, William and Mary, as well as DePaul. They played wonderful games. They were enjoyable to watch. And as a caster, we appreciate you guys giving us such amazing games to give commentary over. And it has been a blast to be able to translate it to all of you. So regardless, thank you guys so much. This is it for Group 1. I think we'll be coming back with Group 3.
Yeah, I think this is Group 2. And we're going to be opening up with Florida State versus Siena College. And, of course, across the day, Siena College sort of have their back-to-back doubleheader as they're going to go up against St. Peter's. And then Quinnipiac going to round out the group with their matches. So we are going to go to a quick break before catching up with Group 2. And these are certainly going to be some great matches. You're going to want to watch them. Stay tuned.
different here. We don't just get up for another day. We rise. We don't just work. We endeavor. We're women and men for and with others. We have hope, we believe, and we celebrate. Why are we different?
So we can be the difference.
At Quinnipiac, we see more than a campus. We see a community built to ignite passions. We see more than a degree. We see the careers of tomorrow. We see more than a student. We see someone destined to make an impact.
And welcome back to the EGFC Power Series. We're on to Group 2. We had some amazing games in Group 1, and I hope that the quality just keeps on coming. We've got Florida State up against Siena. I am J Turbo, joined alongside Binks. I mean, I'm just hyped to get into another group.
I am too. We saw Group 1, and they were absolutely explosive. But now, between these two teams, I think we could see a real barn burner where it's going to be going back and forward. And we really got to figure out, if it's going to be a barn burner, which map are we going to see it on?
Yeah, indeed. As once again, we're going to be on to Haven. So we saw Florida State getting rid of Fracture and Split, and Siena cutting out Breeze and Icebox and not liking those wide open spaces. But Haven, always a fun one to start with.
It is. Haven is the exact same map as we saw for our first map of the series, all the way back at 4:30 Eastern Time. But it has all these rotate options, which makes it so influential, and it gives the attackers a lot more capabilities. But attackers, agents, wait, I said agents, what a good leeway. What agents are we going to see this time?
As we should be getting into Agent Select shortly. Hopefully we will
Well,
be
who
able
do
to...
you
Oh
think?
yeah, who do I
We
think?
don't get to see-
My mind is spacing. I am so sorry. It's been a long day if you couldn't tell. I started early on. But honestly, Haven, I'm expecting more of the same. You know, Sova's a must pick. Reyna most likely going to be your duelist of choice. At least your confirmed duelist. Then you might see the Jet, or you might see the double initiator setup, throw in a Sky, do all that jazz. As honestly, I feel like we're going to continue to see, though, that Astra is the dominant controller of them all.
I think that is fair, but we have to assume Astra is so powerful. I think if we were to see a map without Astra, out of all the maps we have in the pool, maybe it would be Fracture. But even then,
Fracture,
Astra's
maybe.
still very powerful.
I think maybe you swap out the Astra for a Viper on Icebox or Breeze.
Yes, yes.
But they've been banned all day, so there hasn't really been the potential for those to get picked up. As first lock-in for Siena is the Sage, and we're going to have to see how they build their comp around that. Don't expect that Phoenix to get locked in, and there's the Jet, there's the Astra. So Florida State not opting for the Reyna as their primary duelist, going for the Jet instead, a little more flexibility, it seems. As I would not mind if Florida State just locked in everything they're hovering and held to that.
That is a good lineup, but I think that's mirroring what we saw from Wichita in our first match.
Yeah, it's very
let me check that. I got my stat. I got my notes. Why not? Yes, it was Wichita who had that.
And I mean, we've seen how strong Wichita is. We just saw them do a number on DePaul. So
Choose
we
your
are
agent.
going to see if the composition works for Florida State. And a Brimstone instead of an Astra.
Wait, what?
Now this is different. Maybe OCU has some like nasty lineups or something, but this is different.
And that's not us saying different is bad.
It's just different.
Brimstone?
I mean,
I wanna be proven wrong here, but
me too.
The only pro I can see to Brimstone is deploying 3 smokes rather than 2. But then again, throughout the round, Astra can deploy like 6. or
Yeah.
something along those lines. So you don't really beat out. You just have 3 at a time. You don't get to choose the level from which they're deployed because they're all deployed from the sky. So that makes it harder on Brimstone's part.
And also, I think that
The
Astra
stims don't
smokes
do
last a
much.
little longer.
They do.
Um,
I mean, sure, Brim smoked, unlike Omen and Astra smokes. When you're in them, you have a visibility debuff.
Mhm.
Unlike Omen and Astra, but at the same time, it's like your Molly, cool. That's actually a very powerful Molly. Your stim boosts, I've never really seen them used to good effect. I feel like a lot of players are too climatized to the way guns normally shoot.
mhm.
And finally, the ultimate. The only thing I can see there is that you can ult yourself to get a defuse and be completely fine.
Yeah. I mean, there's that. I mean, also you can, play for your old gun. Oh, Migster finds one of the shorty and just in and out. Oh, going again.
No
They weren't
way!
expecting it. And I thought they were going to get away with it for a third time, but Migster with a beautiful start for Florida State, and Siena left scrambling as Guiding Light finds
Brimstone
nobody,
down.
but OCU goes down to those bullets from Swooley, and now Gray in a pretty gross spot does find OKZ, but Swooley does finish it off as, oh my gosh, that opening play. I just love shorty usage in like really high level competitive matches because it feels so cheesy, but it's so calculated.
I love it. Shorty's probably my favorite gun to buy opening round. Neon Shorty. Oh my goodness. Lethal. I'm sorry.
You're giving me like PTSD. You're giving me flashbacks.
I love it. I've gotten aces that have come off of Shorty to Ultimate, and it's probably one of the cleanest. Neon aces are probably one of the cleanest. Oh my goodness, you're playing Astra!
Doesn't matter if you're Migster.
You're playing Astra!
Does not matter. Migster, a very aggressive player, and Vanseed, gets turned around on by Nikki. That was pretty sick, as Aroma and Swooley gonna do a lot. And now it's just a matter of that they pick up that Phantom that went down for Migster. Actually, Gray doing a lot of damage. And honestly, Siena, I'm impressed they were able to keep it that close with the opening we saw.
That's interesting, to say the least. I like the pushes so far. Migster. Migster. I was gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, that's all there is to say.
They're forced buying up.
Yeah, I mean, they have the money to work with because they've gotten so many kills. And I mean, just think about those first 2 shorty kills. That is a pretty decent chunk of change. And then another 2 with the Phantom.
Look how scared they're playing.
Oh my goodness.
That's golden. That's exactly what you want to see. And props to Florida State for just really hammering that home within the first 2 early rounds.
Yeah, and now has the information, knows that low-key's there, finds the kill.
3 opening kills!
3 first bloods on the Astra. That's what I want to see. Because that means there's no cheese, there's no dashes, there's just raw skill. Straight out of Migster. Now, we're going to see if we can find another one. Little damage on the Gray. Both understand where they're coming from. A little body block from the teammate, it seems. But no harm, no foul, as Nikki watching out to see if Aroma or Migster are on the flank. Ooh, the timing of OCU might be able to find it. Nikki loops around. Kill for Migster. There's almost 3, but always able to find 2 is this Astra. It's been an absolute menace for the Siena College roster these first couple rounds. And now, with a 1-man disadvantage, Siena looking for an opening.
Left.
Pango tried to take a shot at Aroma, wasn't able to find much. And now, that Trailblazer just sniffing around to see where the spike's coming.
It does look like it is going to be onto the B site. A good use of rotates from Siena. It will be enough, as they're going to have to deal with the pressure from both sides. Ronan to find one, breaking down the wall, finding the headshot. Rushing to the right idea, but Pango with 2 will be taken down finally from Basend? I can see it.
Like Vanseed.
Vansold. Is that an I or an L? That's
Vanseed? It's an I.
It's an I. Okay,
It's an I.
It looked like an L and it completely messed with me.
Yeah, I think of it as Vanseed, but with a
solid
V.
kill. Yeah, Vanseed. Yeah, that makes sense.
fancied with a V. It's fun. I like it. And we are seeing a couple shorties potentially coming out for Siena. So maybe they can do some damage with that. And Florida State, I mean, I was expecting them to be strong coming in, and they are looking very, very good. As not a headshot landing, but some taps coming around, and Pango finding that with the headhunter. It's a nice opening for Siena. Should be able to pick up a gun for themselves, and this might make life a little tricky for Florida State.
So this is where things get a little bit more interesting. World Divide coming out, and that's going to actually shut down Siena, and there's the power of having so many opening kills from your Astra, as all 4 of these players are now rotating. But look, that's just interesting. Florida did not give away. Instead, Mixer looking to rotate up, and they could catch them off guard once again. But that is the worst case scenario. They're rotating towards Garage. Keep your head up. You don't know what could be creeping along C long, especially with your Spike possibly being the last one to go.
Yeah, as Mixer doesn't spot anyone, and neither does that guiding light. So, should leave that there's only a couple options left now that Sewers has been cleared. It's either a delayed long push, or they're waiting on Garage, and indeed, they can find out Loki might be able to find someone with the Bucky, and Shwooley's gone! Good start again for Siena. They're making use of this scrappy buy, but Mixer waiting back to 20 initial shots. Doesn't have to play 3! Nearly 4! As Loki shuts it down, and this Astra is the linchpin of this Florida State squad. Now with 2 members left, this is going to be tough to hold on to. Okay, he's trying to step forward, but you got to push as 2. Want to confirm that win. Doesn't even matter. Okazi wins the duel, and Loki goes home and exploded by that Oni Phantom finisher. Oh, Mixter, you can't keep doing it.
9-4 on Astra. Van Seed. It's not like they're doing bad. They're 1-2.
Like, I feel that Vancy just hasn't had many opportunities to, or been in many positions to actually do anything.
Get a kill,
because
yeah.
either Mixer is killing them before Vancy can rotate, or Vancy gets unlucky or gets traded off of 1 kill, and then it's like, oh, well, here's my super flank because no one expects it. That could also be why Vancy is dying, you know, just running out, wasn't able to find the kill.
Just don't Mixer. Don't do it to him. No chance. No chance.
Please.
No way this works.
Just fire.
No way.
Oh,
no shot.
Oh!
They still get the kill!
Oh, man, and this is fun. Florida State a man down, but throwing out the Seekers, so we're going to see where they go. Let's get some info that there isn't a C-site take going on, but low-key gets the trade. It's exactly what you want if you are Siena. You want to get something on the board and slow down this Florida State team that has been just doing so well. And now Nikki waiting for a roam. Oh, the timing again. And now they hear the owl drone. Right now, Kenny Bull has got fast enough. Not quite for Nikki, but Loki taking down Aroma, meaning this is going to be so difficult for OKZ.
Rotating up. 1v2. Chamber ultimate in the hands. Find Loki, but nope. There's the round on the board that Siena needed, as Loki will find that clean headshot. And that is, honestly, they needed that, because their eco would not have been able to survive otherwise, I believe.
Yeah, absolutely not. I completely agree. I mean, I wouldn't say so much their eco, because here they're in a tough, or actually no, they're in a pretty good spot, because they have that like 4-round loss streak and compounds plus the win. Not looking too bad for them. But beyond that, I feel the morale is more what gets impacted as you get hit and hit over and over and over again. But what's good is they kept some of these rounds close. They made it so Florida State won't have the full buy they maybe want. It's a little scrappier, forcing out the tour de force as well.
Pushing into this round,
Prepare for hell.
we've seen... Oh, wow, that's new? What a play!
Oh, I like that. I like that.
Okay, I take it back to some degree, but that individual play was so well calculated on the Brimstone's part, and I talked about it. If you can use an ultimate to get a kill, and that's what you want to do.
3.
Ray also doing a... Oh!
That hurts. That's just painful.
Nice shot. What a beautiful shot. Mixter also looking to capitalize on this. Look for Gray! They'll find their kill, just like they always do so far. Now it's Nicky. They'll be able to shut down Mixter. They're spotted out. They have to deal with Chamber's ultimate. Spike down on the other side of the wall. Please tell me what they can do.
This Chamber... The sound of the Chamber ulti down is so scary, but it doesn't even matter. Nicky finds 2. Now it's a 1v1 up against Okazi, and what was looking very, very good for Florida State has suddenly flipped on its head. Honestly, from what looked like some arrogance, if I'm being honest, where they were just sort of playing around, firing those shots off like there was no tomorrow. Now, Nicky goes for the safe plant. We're going to have to see if Okazi find a way around Sova v Sova. Not a ton of utility, but 2 shock darts available for the Florida State member.
But you could call that over-aggression a very big part, largely in part to the fact that we see Radiance as the average on Florida State and Platinum on the side of Siena. You know, regardless, rank doesn't determine everything.
Back to work.
Doesn't determine everything, but Okazi killing it. And I mean, this Florida State team, they got 2nd in the last PowerSeries. Incredibly strong team. And they have just been growing and getting stronger every single time I see them, it feels like they're getting better. This is
wow, I got proven wrong in 1 second there.
What? Oh, that. I mean, that's the kind of spot where it's like, it's just awkward, you know?
It is. It is.
Got to target it.
Oh, is that a bulldog with a shorty?
I think so. So make sure some
I like that. That's really interesting. Regardless, I really like the aggressiveness that Florida State has gone for, but it's very timed aggressiveness where they're not going for it needlessly, and it's a lot more calculated. Siena also doing a good job of using these ults and getting those ult orbs, not afraid to go for those reses as we saw in the previous round.
And oh, Vancy just taking down Loki, even though Loki had the Blade Storm, and another beautiful shot down. Pango trying to push forward, but oh, that is just clean and cool precision from Vancy.
So close.
Pango.
1 enemy remaining.
So there's at least a start, but Mixter shuts down that chamber. Now it's all up to a CU, and Mixter once again gets the kill, cleans it up. Florida State pull themselves ahead to a 6-1 lead.
Wow. 2.0 KD with that Astra.
You'll love to see it.
Cosmic Divide. Q Hunter's Furies.
Yeah.
This is just overwhelming. They're on defense, by the way. Did I mention that?
To the
You know, I watched a little video and it was like guide to controller, how to play controller like the pros. Get used to being at the bottom of the leaderboard. Not if you're Mixter. Not if you're Mixter.
Oh, look at this. Oh, they finally killed Gray. Sage 2, not who you want to lose, but not the worst.
Enemy tag.
There is. Wow. Wow. He's a Aroma. They are just maneuvering around the map with such degree, with lack of caution that there's no way to track Florida State right now. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, we can see the entire map and we can barely keep track of them. Imagine how it feels if you're Siena. You know, this is such a brutal position, and I mean, you brought up the rank disparity between the teams, and obviously rank isn't everything, but Radiant is certainly very, very good at this game. And,
really? What's better?
Nothing, actually. You know, rank 1 Radiant, actually.
Perhaps.
So Florida State, of course, with I think one of the strongest rosters coming into this tournament, flat out, and I'd say props to Siena for honestly bringing some of these rounds very, very close. And Pango, nice opening pick, as low-key trying to pressure down Mixter and deny some of the space he wants to take. Not gonna work out, and I'm gonna say, Siena College, they've honestly had some really good moments where they've found some opportunities. I mean, think about the Brimstone play. Nicky finding Mixture here off the smoke. So they're obviously not out of the woods. Rank isn't everything. It's just sometimes in these clutch positions or in these flicks, it is just insane what these guys can pull off as Gray lands a shot, Aroma finishes it off, and now it's all up to Pango in a 1v3, who, honestly, I would not be surprised if he could pull it off after that last shot we saw. Aroma very low, finds the kill. Now, goes for the plant, maybe a little too aggressive with Okazy so close.
I think you have a very valid point there. Sometimes it's safer to maybe fake the plant, bait the push into you, especially when you have a bit of time left remaining on the round. You can play with it a little bit, get comfortable. But regardless, that's 8-1 for Florida State, as it does look like they're running away with it.
Yeah, that it does. They are certainly starting to run away with it. Only one round picked up by Siena, and that was the 5th round. Otherwise, it's been all Florida State. The Noles are certainly charging forward, and I'm just glad I'm not a UF fan. You know, if I was a UF fan and I saw Florida State winning this well, I'd be very, very sad.
It's a valid point.
You want to play?
It's not as much of an argument that it's just one player on the team. They are playing very well in tandem. It's not that one player is just carrying them. They're playing very much together, and as they push up, oh, you jump there. Oh, okay, that's why you jump. Brimstone to find one, Low Key to find one as well, and that's the player advantage now. Mixer not expecting it. Beautiful flick. Looking to add on to that, finding Gray. You know they can contend with Chambers 2-4 as one of the most powerful ultimates in the game because of that overpowered operator, as if op didn't stand for OP enough.
Very, very true. As here comes the Hellfire in the garage again, doesn't find anything, and Mixter takes down Nikki, equalizing the player count, but still relatively low. If a couple stray shots land onto Mixter, it's not going to be very good as Gray. Oh, I don't like this push. Oh, drops the spike, and now Mixter knows, and there it is, a quick kill. Oh, now is the shot.
Oh, no. No.
Okay, good. Because
so they can be killed. It's possible to kill Mixter.
He is not a god. He can be killed. But now it's going to be up to these last two players from Siena to try and figure something out. Charging forward, Aroma finds a headshot on Pango, and it's all up to a CU. Finds something, has the stim beacon, but 2 angles, doesn't know where to look. And Aroma is going to find the kill. 9-1 in favor of Florida State. This is just complete control being exerted.
I mean, 9-3 curse is possible.
I mean, it certainly is possible.
Right?
That would still require Siena to get 2 more rounds. We must remember that.
That's an interesting chamber placement. I actually like that. I don't know if that actually catches them. I'm assuming they're better than me. They're better than me. I'm going to assume it catches them, and that's really smart because you don't look up there. That's a guaranteed slow as soon as they walk in through mid door. And if you look up there, then bring yourself. Oh, Pango, boom. Okay.
I'm going to say it's more Vancy just getting completely punished for that's just Jet ego if I've ever seen it, you know? Yes. Where you pop the Blade Storm, you run out, and boom, off to the face. As Loki pushes past, does take him down. Mixter, though, responds onto Nikki. As it feels like the early stages of these rounds are always so even, you know, 1-for-1 back and forth, and Roma takes down Loki with just a quick shot. And now if Gray can find a res here, there might be a world where
I think they might find a Mixter, though.
It does look like that, and indeed they will. Mixter went very, very low, so close, but the 9-3 curse potential is gone, and Florida State are looking to have the most dominant half of the day by far, as they're looking to take this to 11-1.
Wow. That's something.
That's a score line.
Oh my goodness! And if we look, it's not like they happen to get the plant down, which is enough, but it's been cut every single time. The round that they won was off of kills, and that's how you Jet Eagle peak successfully. Pango, the one to bite the dust this time around. Loki now taking their turn, having the Blade Storm out. As its final round, you're gonna want to see that all these ultimates do get used. Interestingly enough, we haven't seen Chamber to pull the 2-4 just yet, but have a feeling that could
Spike down,
change,
C.
but they seem quite content using that Vandal.
Yeah, I was gonna say, honestly, it doesn't matter. I think I've got a feeling that these last two players aren't in this cubby. The Seekers are on the way, and it's really just a matter of time. It's a shooting range for Florida State, and what a dominant half
Switching
out of
sides.
the Knolls, as there's not much to say. They win 2 rounds, and that is the first game of this group going the way of Florida State.
First half. If they can do it, so can we. We can't forget that mentality.
Very,
Can
very
we?
true.
I think we
They're
can.
just people.
Maybe. They are just people.
And
They're
as
just
we've seen,
people.
Mixter is not a god. Can be killed.
You know
But-
what? I think what we need to do is let's swap out my Wi-Fi for Florida State's Wi-Fi.
There we
and
go.
Then we'll see how well they're doing. Or
Perfect.
let's give them my little laptop that I'm using right now.
Yeah.
Then we'll see what happens.
I'll give them my laptop from junior year of high school that has a crack in the screen. see what they can do on that.
No, we'll give them the high school Chromebooks.
Oh, that's just rude. That's unfair. That's like.
Spike down
Oh
A.
man, that would
Look
be
at
like
the opening
actual
picks
hacks
here.
for the other team. But we're seeing the kills come in, and oh,
Mixter!
Mixter
One
Okay.
enemy remaining.
finds a kill, and now it's all actually just up to Aroma. Does find one, needs 2 more to find the round, but Siena, if they can start this off, definitely put themselves in a better position with a nice shot from Low-Key. So it's not going to be a 13-1. And
I would never. I don't think I could be happier if we were to get a caster's curse right now.
yes, I would love one. I would be so
That would
happy
be the
if this goes.
funniest thing in the world to see that big comeback.
I'm just a sucker for comebacks, if I'm being honest.
I am. I don't care who I'm watching. I'd love to see a comeback. It makes things interesting, and it's a fun way to look at things. Question: have you ever used this little shooting range before a round starts?
No, never. This is actually my first time seeing it, if I'm being honest.
Really? That's one of the ones that I actually knew about.
Ooh.
Oh, maybe pushing up there aggressively, not a good idea.
Spike down
What?
C.
OCU able to find Aroma, so that's a start. Pango not able to escape from Okazi's Sheriff, laying down the law. Vanseed runs into Nikki. And there was nearly a turnaround, but Gray with the judge, looking to do something spicy. As now with this massive man advantage for State, not playing around as entire clip from the judge gets used up. Doesn't do too much damage, of course, as OCU trying to find Okazi, but running around. Oh, and the headshot! Nice flick from Okazi. As now it is just Gray. They're just gonna try and find a way into this site and do something, or maybe just hold on to this judge.
So Vidart, I think it's like the round's already over. Mixter gets their kill. Happy Friday.
Indeed, happy Friday.
Happy Friday, guys! It's the weekend. It doesn't feel like the weekend for me for some reason.
It doesn't for me either, mostly because I have more casting tomorrow, so it's like my work week just doesn't stop.
It feels like the weekend half the time is the work week, especially for
Yeah.
esports.
Yeah.
There's no telling. It's like weekend tournament. You casting? I'm like,
I am now.
hey, we're going out tonight. You want to come? I'm like, I'll call you after my cast 5 energy.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the worst, especially being in university, is you're casting. You're like, please don't let there be a fire alarm.
Honestly,
Please don't
that
let
is the
someone
big
push
one.
out. Yeah.
Find a nice kill,
Spike
and now it's
planted.
just Florida State running over Siena in this last one.
Last
OCU.
player
Nice quick
standing.
headshot. Last one standing. Takes down Vanseed, and this is getting a little
Enemy
spicy.
remaining.
Gets
Oh!
Mixter! And now just one left standing to bring at least another round of hope for Siena. But with them being so low, this is a brutal spot to be in.
No.
Aroma looking for it, and just one smoke around goes for it, and Aroma will find the shot, find the kill,
It's been a
and
pleasure,
Florida
my friend.
State
Au revoir.
find themselves a 13-2 score line for our first game of Group 2.
I kind of want to see the eco ratings on the side of Florida State.
I am intrigued as well. Okay.
Not as high. That's more expected them because they were dying a considerable amount.
Yeah.
Like Migster, although they were playing the Astra, out of the 15 rounds they were played, they only stayed alive for 5 of them.
Yeah.
I think that's worth mentioning at least. But
And
it was an interesting game. I think that it gives us a good insight into the way Florida State is going to be playing the rest of these games, and I'm interested to see how Siena is going to compare against the other teams we have here inside of Group 2.
Yeah, we're going to have to see how they handle their matches coming up. Oh my goodness, excuse me, got a little in my throat. We've got Siena going up against St. Peter's up next. And following that, of course, Quinnipiac is going to come into the mix, and we're going to round things off with Florida State at the end of the day. We're not going to want to see if Siena can bounce back from this loss against Florida State and take on St. Peter's. So stick around for that one, as we'll be back shortly.